See, you can't see the name. It's Jerry Stark soap. It's from a sample he sent me. So we're gonna do a giveaway today. So hang out to the end and I'll cover that. But I have a bunch of things to give away. Several. This stuff lathers like a champ. Check this out. This is a new custom razor that I got from Jerry Stark. There's a story behind this, and someday I'll tell the story. But, I've been working with Jerry now, trying to get this handled here for several months. And what I can say is Jerry is a top-notch guy, stand-up guy. I've shaved with his razors before. But I've never really talked to him. And we've had a lot of back and forth. And he's a great guy to deal with. He's out of northern Arizona, which isn't far from me. Up north, maybe, I don't know, 200 miles. But he is an American artisan, and he does beautiful work. He's been making razors for a while, and now he's just gotten into soap. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit too. That has a beautiful edge, beautiful feel to the edge. So the razor, I pretty much, I did design it and I had an idea in my head, but what my goal here is that the razor was an homage to the old Philly 14s. And I sent Jerry a picture of the razor, of the old Philly. With a bunch of numbers and specs on it, because it was an homage, yet it's a little bit different. There are some things that are different, but you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely shorter. All right. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I will. Philly 14, Jerry Stark. Anyway, I sent them the picture, and I had a whole list of bullet points of things that I wanted with the razor. Because it had to be a specific spine thickness for the width, since it's a 7/8, and actually just a little hair over on the toe, and then it kind of fades towards the heel. And several other things on the list. And when Jerry sent me the razor, It was a home run. He said to me, he said, yeah, he says, I wore out my calipers making sure that that thing was perfect and spot on, because I did have all of the measurements on the razor. So I guess he knew that I was a picky bastard. But it turned out beautifully. I don't know if I didn't show this part, but it's a quarter hollow. Now, of course, the Phillies are full hollows. I really like Jerry's quarter hollows. I know that quarter hollows seem to have more of a reputation for being somewhat sluggish and not as sharp, but this one defies all the logic. I don't know logic, but all the common notions of quarters versus full hollows. The steel on the razor is the 52-100. Honestly, I don't really know what that means. It's good steel and it's nice and hard. When Jerry sent this to me, he put a Zulu gray edge on it. And I can tell you, Jerry does an awesome job of honing razors. But honestly, I mean, it was a great edge, a little sharp for me. Last night I put a caudicle edge on this. Plenty sharp. No blood. But the thing about this razor, and one thing I wanted to say, that most people say that like beginning razors, beginners should, you know, the 5/8 round point, that's what a beginner should get. I don't know where that comes from. I basically couldn't disagree more with that. The 5/8 because I guess it's smaller and a little, supposed to be easier to maneuver around. I could make a case that a 7/8 razor is easier because they're not as sensitive to the angle and the pitch, because you know you have more movement before changing the angle on it. They're not quite as sensitive. As far as the round tip versus square tip, I don't know. Square tips shouldn't cut you. The tip should be muted. They're not going to cut you if it's done right. But what I wanted to say about this is the length of the blade, 2.5 inches. Most razors are 3, some 3 1/4. This is what makes the difference as far as being able to maneuver and whip it around on your face, the 2.5 inches part. That's the part that I really love. That's what I would recommend for a beginner, getting a shorter blade. The only difference between a big blade and a smaller blade, like a full 1 inch and like a 5/8, is this part right here, right underneath your nose. That's all. Truly a wonderful shave. Jerry, you did a great job on that. You know, one thing I did want to say regarding the razor is that the things that I wanted designed on the razor was with one purpose in mind, and that's ease of function. So this is a very basic razor. You know, some of these razors I look at that some people make they're ridiculous. They'd be impossible to use. They have these big, huge thumb notches, which would be impossible to strop. They're huge. They're just terrible. I mean, this, I know Jerry had to restrain himself because it was so basic. And that's how I want it. Basic scales, black G10 scales. That's because horn scales tend to warp, wood scales tend to compress and constantly get loose. It's the Dr. Matt style razor. Jerry knows what they are. Wonderful. All right, so now the giveaway part. Okay, so Jerry, along with making razors, he recently, nice, started making soaps. And Jerry had sent me several samples to test. He sent them in these bags. I think I have 5 of them here. And all great soaps. I tested all of them. I don't know, I think he only has 2 that he has out, and right now I think he's out. He's out of stock, so I don't know how that's going to work as far as when his next batch is. But I have 5 samples here, and all of them will have chunks out of them. I didn't get any of them wet. I just, they're fairly soft, more like a crope, and I, put it in my, that's what this was. I just smashed it in there. So these really haven't been touched by water or anything. So there's 5 of them. So you guys that are interested, don't have any soap or want to try some of the soap, comment below and I can send these out. Wait for the guys who maybe, don't have as much stuff versus you guys that have 30 years worth of soap on hand. Or I don't know, maybe you want to figure something out where you kind of do pass around with them too. You can do that as well. But I have them and would like to have other people try it because they really are great stuff. All right, guys, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I had a great shave. Hope you guys have a great shave. Enjoy your day. Have a great night.